So I'm going to start creating voice memos to share the things I'm experimenting with, things that I'm thinking, and things that I'm trying. I'm going to play around with this format, so let me know what you think. Okay, so here's what I've been working on. Since I've been staring at James Toney and Mike McCollum for quite some time now, breaking down their epic fight, there were some things that jumped out to me. So today, I'm going to talk about James and one particular pattern he had and how we can implement it. It's a catch and counter defense. So when an opponent throws a jab and follows up with his lead hook to the body, what would be some ways you can defend against it? And so you could follow along. I'm going to follow a particular format to explain. So it's goal, hypothesis, experiment, and result. So that's the goal. Implement a catch and counter defense when an opponent throws a jab, then lead hook to the body. Now, here's my hypothesis. You can either pull or catch that jab on the first beat, then drop and catch that lead hook on the second beat. So in either scenario, you'll be in position to catch that lead hook to the body when you're in that drop position. And in that position, the goal is to have an automated response, which is to catch that hook using your rear elbow, forearm, or glove, then counter out with a rear overhand. So here's the experiment. I created a partner drill moving through that pattern. So boxer A will throw a jab, then lead hook to the body, then pull. And to explain this idea a bit more, when you throw that lead hook to the body and connect, you tend to get stuck on that lead foot. So for this drill, after you connect, the next step is to pull to your rear foot. And my definition of a pull would be moving your head from your lead foot to your rear foot. And there's a reason for this pull, and I'll explain why behind it in a little bit. But first, let's move over to boxer B. We're going to start with his head over his lead foot. He can have his shoulders square or slightly bladed, either in the high guard or low guard, so either's fine. And a side note, I heard a neat definition on describing the difference between having your lead hand high or low. So think of yourself in an old car with no power and you have to manually roll up or roll down your windows. So to roll up or roll down is your lead hand. So if it's rolled up, you're in the high guard. If it's rolled down, you are in the low guard. And that's a Tom Yankello gem if you follow his YouTube channel. So anyways, side note, I'd like to add, I drive a Jeep with no power, so that visual just really hit home with me. So once that jab comes from boxer A, you'll pull your head from your lead foot to your rear foot. That jab should come up short, and if it doesn't, your rear hand should be your next line of defense. And one thing to mention, in my opinion, your rear hand should always be rolled up. On the next beat, you'll drop, which I would define as a waist bend over your rear foot after that pull, while boxer A is throwing his lead hook. Now, your waist bend should be cutting down the distance between you and that lead hook, meaning you should be meeting that hook. And when that hook connects, it should be connecting with your rear elbow, glove, or forearm. And that's what I would call a catch. Then after contact, you should come out of that position with your overhand. And this is because the waist bend puts all your weight on your rear foot, which should make it easy to launch that overhand. And now this goes back to boxer A and their safety in this drill. They should be leaving that lead foot and pull to their rear foot. And similar to boxer B, how they started, boxer A can leave that lead foot with that lead hand rolled up or rolled down. You can play with both options and see what you're comfortable with. So I hope that really sinks in. Okay, now I mentioned boxer B has another option. He can choose to catch that jab. So let's go through that idea. Again, boxer B starts with his head over his lead foot. And again, he can have his shoulders square or slightly bladed in the high guard or low guard. Again, either is completely fine. So once that jab comes from boxer A, you'll catch that jab on your lead foot. But hone in on this. This time, you're not leaving that lead foot like you did with the pull. You're catching that jab on or towards that lead foot. Let me know if that visual sinks in. Then on the very next beat, you'll drop. Now, since you're dropping after catching that jab on the lead foot, you'll find your head will drop between your lead foot and rear foot. So to expand upon this, if you did a pull drop you'll find your head over your rear foot. If you catch towards your lead foot, then immediately drop, you'll find your head drops between your lead foot and rear foot. Other than that, the difference is everything is the same. Boxer A throws his lead hook. Again, your waist bend should be cutting down the distance between you and that lead hook, meeting that hook. When that hook connects, it should be connecting with your rear elbow, forearm, or glove. Then, as I mentioned, this is what I would call a catch. Then after contact, once again, you'd be coming out of that position with your overhand. So to repeat again, because of the waist bend, all the weight should be on your rear foot, and that overhand should come out pretty smoothly. And again, this goes back to Boxer A and their safety in this drill. They should be leaving that lead foot and pull to their rear foot. And now for the results. In a nutshell, it worked. The sequence we did in our partner drills was longer than what I just explained, but to keep this idea simple, I shortened it down so I didn't lose anyone along the way. So the pull drop overhand or the catch drop overhand both worked well as a partner drill. And I think it could be a good way to defend a jab lead hook to the body. So I would say it was a success. Okay, that's it for today. Let me know if you like this format and if you can visualize how I explain things. And feel free to say, Mike, I don't know what you're talking about. And let me know in the comments. All right, keep rocking, everyone.